Ever get the feeling, like, some families, they've got these stories, way more going on than meets the eye.
Oh, absolutely.
Today, we're diving deep right into one of those families.
Okay.
With Maria, she's a young Lebanese woman, and her family history. Let's just say it takes a hard left turn into mysterious territory.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking like magic, dreams, ancient secrets.
Yeah, the kind of stuff you usually only find in, novels.
Right, and that's what makes this deep dive so fascinating, you know? It's not every day we get to explore something like this, especially since we're piecing it together from Maria's diaries and these fragments of this, well, cryptic book she finds.
It's like we're right there with her, covering all this stuff.
Exactly, it's immersive, you know?
So where does it all begin?
Well, it starts with a hidden place.
Okay.
The attic in Maria's childhood home, and it's described as like both alluring and forbidden at the same
I
time.
like it already.
Yeah, you know, piled high with all these forgotten things, whispering with history.
Ooh, okay, I can picture it.
Yeah,
Dusty furniture, cobwebs, maybe a floorboard creaking every now and then.
exactly. And young Maria, she's drawn to it.
Naturally.
And it's in this attic, right, that she finds this old chest tucked away like someone wanted it hidden.
Ah.
Inside, she finds something way more interesting than, you know, old photos.
This is where this whole cryptic book thing comes in, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what's the deal with the book? What makes it so special?
Okay, so imagine this. This book, ancient, fragile, right?
Okay.
Bound in like this papyrus type material.
Okay.
The language inside, completely foreign to Maria, like something out of a forgotten world. But here's where it gets really interesting, okay? The moment Maria touches this book, the language, it's like it shifts, it morphs until, get this, it transforms into letters she recognizes.
Whoa, wait, what? No way.
Yeah.
It's like the book knew she was coming or something?
Yeah, it's like it was like choosing her.
Yeah, you're like waiting for her.
But it doesn't stop there. Okay, the book, now in Maria's language, it starts giving instructions.
Instructions?
For a ritual.
A ritual? Whoa, hold on a second. It's not just a book anymore.
No.
It's like interactive or something.
Right, it's like it wants to be used, you know?
Okay, that's a little creepy, I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
We're going from 0 to 60 here real quick.
Yeah, it gets intense.
What kind of ritual are we even talking about here?
That's where it gets a little, you know, fuzzy. The diary entries get more frantic, like almost panic. There's these sketches of symbols, and this feeling of anxiety just seeps through the pages.
Oh, yeah.
And this figure starts appearing with all these descriptions.
A figure? Like a person?
A woman, but she's described as like ethereal, you know,
Okay.
long flowing hair.
Right.
But her hands are like claws.
Whoa, okay, that took a turn.
Right, so you've got this strange mix of grace and something kind of unsettling.
Yeah, I don't know if I like the sound of this lady.
And she doesn't really talk, you know? It's more like this telepathic urging.
Oh, okay, now that's just creepy.
Yeah, and she just like appears and disappears.
It's like a ghost.
Yeah, like she's made of smoke or something.
So we've got a magic book and a creepy ghost lady. Maria's really hit the jackpot here.
Right. And it's clearly freaking her out, this woman.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Especially with, you know, the whole appearing and disappearing thing.
Yeah, it's not exactly a recipe for a good night's sleep.
Right. So you've got the book, right, pulling her in with this knowledge.
Yeah.
But then this growing sense of unease, like something's not quite right.
Does it say anything about who this woman is?
That's the thing. It's never really explained.
So it's like a creepy ghost lady mystery on top of everything else.
Exactly. She's just there, this unsettling presence.
Okay, so we're already down this rabbit hole with a magic book.
Yeah.
But now it's not just about figuring out the book. It's like there's something else going on.
Right. Maria's in way over her head.
And we're just getting started.
And we're just getting started. You know, it's kind of wild how our mind, they react to the unknown. You know what I mean?
Oh, tell me about it.
And Maria, her experiences, they start bleeding out from those diary pages right into her everyday life.
Really?
Oh, yeah. But it's like both captivating and terrifying at the same time, you know?
So we're not just talking like spooky vibes here anymore. This is actually affecting her.
Exactly. It's like that book, those rituals, they're like a door, right?
Yeah.
And the more Maria interacts with it all, the more her dreams start messing with her reality.
Okay, now that's just not right, you know?
Yeah.
I can handle a spooky story, but actually living through it, no thanks.
And those figures we talked about, the creepy woman, that weird kid in the graveyard, they're in her dreams all the time now.
No, thank you.
Each time they get more and more vivid, like they're closing in.
So what, are they trying to tell her something?
That's the million-dollar question, right? Maria, she starts sketching these figures in her diary like she's trying to decode them.
In the book, any more clues from that?
Well, she stumbles on this idea that this concept of the three worlds.
Three worlds.
Yeah, it's like, okay, picture a Venn diagram, right?
Okay, I'm picturing it.
Our world, the dream world, and then this other place, the underworld.
Okay, hold on. Underworld, like with a capital U. This is getting a little intense, even for me.
And it's like this underworld, it connects everything somehow.
Okay, most people, they'd be running for the hills at this point, right?
Yeah.
But not Maria. She just keeps digging.
For Maria, it becomes less about curiosity and more like a duty,
What do you mean?
She finds this inscription in the book, hidden away, talking about her ancestor, Elizabeth.
Her ancestor? What, like a great-great-grandmother or something?
Basically. And get this. Centuries ago, Elizabeth, she started some kind of task. Something to do with these three worlds.
Talk about pressure from your family tree. This is way beyond, did you clean your room?
Right. You'd think that creepy lady would have been assigned to maybe sit this one out.
Seriously. So what happens next? Does Maria just pack her bags for this underworld or what?
Well, she tries to do the ritual from the book again.
Oh no, what is she thinking?
And this time she brings friends.
Oh no, that never ends well.
It's a disaster.
What happened?
And then there's this whole thing with a fortune teller with her cousin Sally. Let's just say it gets weird.
Okay, you can't just drop that on us and not elaborate. What happened with the ritual and what's with the fortune teller?
So the ritual backfires, but not in a normal way. The next morning, Maria wakes up hurt, and it's the exact same injury she got in one of her dreams.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, and the fortune teller, she tells Maria there's something dark following her.
Oh, great. Just what she needs.
Connected to the book, she says.
Okay, see, this is where I'd tap out. It's one thing to read about this stuff, but this is getting too real.
That's what's so powerful about Maria's story. It's not just about magic and myths. It's about the human experience. That fear, the confusion, it's all real, and she's going through it.
So what? It's like a cautionary tale. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Or you might end up with a haunted book and a one-way ticket to the underworld.
Maybe, but it's also about courage, Maria, she could just ignore all of this, but she doesn't. She keeps going, even when it gets tough.
I guess that's what makes her story so compelling. It's not just what happens to her, but how she handles it.
Exactly. And that's something we can all relate to, right? We all face challenges, even if they don't involve ancient rituals and spooky ghost ladies.
Like with Maria's story, we're turning the page and things get even weirder, Like just when you think you've got a grip on things, bam, new rules.
Yeah, exactly. And this time, we're going full-on legend.
Legend? Like what kind of legend?
Remember those clues, the ones scattered throughout the book?
Uh-huh.
Well, they lead Maria to a place that practically screams magic and mystery. Avalon.
Wait, hold on. Avalon. As in King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, Avalon.
You got it, the one and only.
Okay, seriously. This is like something out of a fantasy novel.
And Maria, she thinks the same thing at first.
Well, yeah. I mean, who wouldn't?
Right, but it's like everything's pointing her in that direction, the dreams, those creepy whispers, even like physical feelings she's getting.
So what, she just like books a flight to Avalon? How does one even get to a mythical island?
That's the thing about Maria. She figures it out. And once she gets there, her diary entries, they go from deciphering this book to like surviving in a whole other world.
Okay, I got to ask, are we talking like dragons and quests now?
Yeah.
Because this deep dive just took a turn into epic fantasy territory.
Pretty much. She writes about these incredible creatures, fairies, giants, you name it.
Whoa, hold on. Seriously.
Oh, yeah. And get this. She even finds herself searching for Excalibur, the sword in the stone.
Okay, you're messing with me, right? There's no way this is actually happening.
Well, but here's the thing. Even with all that crazy stuff, Maria, she finds something familiar.
Familiar. In Avalon. How is that even possible?
It's in the little things, the way she interacts with this world. She's not just watching it all happen. She's a part of it.
Okay, so she's not just Dorothy and Oz anymore. She's like joining the team.
Exactly. And those creepy figures from her dreams, they become real people knights, witches.
Wait, witches too? Seriously?
Yeah, and she even meets Sir Percival.
Sir Percival. Like the Holy Grail, Sir Percival.
The very same.
Okay, that's pretty amazing. But what about the book? Where does it fit in with all this Arthurian stuff?
That's the whole point, you see. Avalon, it's like the missing piece of the puzzle.
What do you mean?
The book, it's not enough to just read it. You have to live it.
Okay, I think I get it. So it's like the book sets the stage, and Avalon is like the actual play.
You got it. And it's in Avalon that Maria faces her biggest challenge yet. the underworld.
The underworld. Seriously.
Well,
like with demons and fire and all that.
yep, the real deal. And it's down there in the underworld that Marie finds the last few pages of the book. But getting them, let's just say it wasn't a walk in the park.
I bet. So what are we talking, like Cerberus guarding the gates and all that?
It's intense. She writes about this oppressive darkness, creatures guarding the way.
Okay, now that's just terrifying. And Maria just like waltzes in there.
She has to. Those pages, they're the key to everything. And you know what she finds down there?
What?
Satan.
She meets Satan. Like actually meets him face to face.
Face to face. And it's this whole confrontation, a battle of wills.
Oh, hold on. I need a minute to process this.
Yeah.
So what happens? Do they like fight?
It's more like she confronts him. And that's when it all clicks, you know? The book, the three worlds, it all makes sense.
So spill it. What's the big reveal?
The book, it wasn't meant to grant wishes or anything like that.
Okay.
It was a test, a way to show what really matters.
So all this magic, all this mystery, and it comes down to a test.
A test of character, you know? The book, those rituals, they showed Maria what she was really made of.
It's like that saying, the real journey is the friends we made along the way, right?
Yeah.
Except in this case, it's scary ghost ladies and a trip to the underworld.
Yeah, something like that. Maria's story, it reminds us that the most important things, they're not out there somewhere, hidden in some book.
They're inside us all along.
Exactly. Our choices, our beliefs, that's where the real power lies.
Wow. You know, listening to Maria's story, it makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What challenges are we facing? What choices are we making? And are we really living up to, who we want to be?
It's a good question to ask ourselves, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely something
Yeah.
to think